There can be no doubt that Bill Gates has worn many hats on his remarkable journey from his early life as the privileged son of a Seattle area power couple to his current status as one of the richest and most influential people on the planet. But as we have seen in our exploration of Gates's rise as unelected global health czar and population control advocate, the question of who Bill Gates really is no mere philosophical pursuit. Given that we are currently living.
Hi, Demi Soul. Hi, Almond Brown. Hey, Bernadette Speaks. Hey, Sierra. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Sabrina. Hey, Didi Lulu. Did you get the Zoom? No, I didn't get no Zoom. What Zoom, child? Hey, like bright, still standing. Forever, Miss Gerald. Princess A, Inform One. Crazy 5,000. Fisher. Highlight Bright. Hey, Pretty Montana. Hey, Kimberly. Is this a conspiracy? This is a conspiracy lie. I didn't see it. Hey, MPV. Hey, Bone Girl. I did not see it. Hey, Ashanda. Hey, Michelle. I did not see it. Yes, y'all. This is gonna be a conspiracy live. I did a video earlier, upload this morning to let y'all know I was gonna do my conspiracy. Like I know a lot of people, a lot of my conspiracies, they've been waiting, they've been ready to hear from me, child. Nah, y'all know me, I could switch this bitch into the beef too, child. You already know I could switch the bitch to both, to both of the bitches. Hey, Phoenix. They say new 3 hour Zoom and they was going at your bestie. Where? Where? Why y'all ain't send me the intel? Why y'all didn't send me the the intel on that situation? Huh? Um, girl, I did not know that they had another Zoom meeting and they was talking shit about my bestie, which I'm pretty sure that was going to happen. Cause y'all know them some hating ass bitches. And y'all know my best to keep these bitches out here mad, upset. Hey, Bless. Um, the little bit that y'all just heard was a little bit of what we're gonna be talking about. I have to go and find the other videos if I can. So, we're gonna be talking about this. So I don't understand why they just went. Okay, I guess they had to go back to Zoom to child. They really trying to keep the Zoom shit into play, huh? Well, that ain't nothing new, child. Hey, official. Can you
What's
hear
up?
me?
Yeah, I was typing it in the back. Go to that
Oh, okay.
page. Get Fates or somebody up here that can do it because I don't get off for another 30 minutes. But I've been trying to
I
listen,
tried
but I
to
can't.
find that page and I can't.
Yeah, you ain't on my membership. I had put it up on the wall a few hours ago. But you
Okay,
got
so
that secret. You need to get a burner IG. I holler at your
night.
bestie to tell you to get you one of them. So that way
Well, if she
we
got
get
it,
that
she might
intel
talk
to you.
about it.
Okay.
If she got it, she
Oh
might talk
no.
about it.
Yeah. All right, but that's
Yeah.
it. You can get somebody up here to help you with that. I'll be in the comment.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Hey, the soap. Hey, Jen. Hey, Voodoo. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna go check that out because y'all, I did tell y'all, maybe later I'll come back and we'll discuss the beef. This live was just, the conspiracy because everybody been, I've been slacking. I have been slacking on the conspiracies because it's a lot been going on over here in the beef sector, but I'm back. I did a lot of research, and it's a lot for me to talk about. Trust me, believe it's a lot to like cover with the conspiracies, but I'm here for it. I can do it. That's what I've been doing when I first started uploading, doing my videos on this shit. I was, doing my conspiracies, talk about that the most. That's how I ended up getting my subscribers like I did. Building my own platform just from me doing my conspiracy videos and people hearing me out here what I gotta say, even the ones who felt like some of the stuff I was accurate on, or some stuff they just wanted me to know information on, or some stuff they felt like wasn't they didn't agree. So, it's okay for us to disagree about the stuff. Hey, B for Angie. And hey, Miss Boyd. And that's how we gonna do it. But right here, we're listening to Meet Bill Gates. Okay, I shared this video on my community wall for those who wants to go and look at that video for themselves. And for those who want to go and look at the comments and see what they say pertaining to the comments. But right here, we're going to do our reaction video to this because this is what I want us to hear. I also need to go and look again to find that video with Bill Gates owning all of the land. So we're gonna also react to that video because he owns all of the land, y'all. So we gotta stay on top of this conspiracy shit because there's a whole lot happening. I'm also finna look at the other one with a call for uprising new channel because he also talked about what's going on with the Capitol, and we're going to do a reaction to that so y'all can see what's been going on, so I can give my commentary, my opinion, my thoughts. Declaimer, okay. This is just me giving my reaction, my opinions, and my educated I'll say my educated opinions on how I feel about stuff that I see, I watch, I hear, things of that nature. Okay. I'm not saying this is backed by facts of the stuff that I'm discussing on my live. I'm not saying that this is what it is. I'm saying always do your own research, look for yourself, find out for yourself, question on your own, do what you gotta do for yourself. Okay, don't always take the word of others for it. Do your own independent research so you can have your own state of mind, understanding of what you feel like, what is going on. You don't have to go along with anybody says because you have your free will to do and please as you want and say. So I just wanted to put that out there. Okay, hey, naturally, not declaimer bitch. Hey, Harley, what you doing here? You don't do conspiracies, Harley. Yeah, let me find her, y'all. Let me find out.
For a crisis that has been predicted by Bill Gates.
Can y'all hear that?
Which is
I just want to know,
triggering a
can y'all
response
hear?
from the global health organizations that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has bankrolled. And right.
Did y'all hear that? Huh? The hypocrisy, girl. Why you upset? Girl, leave me alone, girl. Okay, I listen to as much as I can take. I support bitch. Well, thank you for that. Okay, y'all can hear. Okay, so let's get into this commentary.
Moving us toward a vaccination and biometric ID solution, which Bill Gates has been working on for years. The answer to the question, who is Bill Gates, is quickly becoming one of the most important questions of our lives. That answer will not only tell us about the world that we are living in, but about the one that we are being thrust into. And how.
Yes, we would like to know who is Bill Gates. Now, y'all, this little report that the Coppet report report decided to do is only 38 minutes long. Now, I will stop it like in the middle of the video and then see if y'all want to continue to keep talking about it or y'all want to go on to the next commentary. I got a little time, so we'll see how this goes.
We can avoid it. Today we will attempt to answer that question as we examine the motives, the ideology, and the connections of this man who has been so instrumental in shaping the post-coronavirus world.
We know.
Meet Bill Gates.
Meet Bill Gates, y'all.
You're tuned into the Corporate Report.
Corporate Reports.
So who is Bill Gates?
We would
Some
like to know.
argue that he's a genius who leveraged his natural computer savvy into a billion-dollar fortune.
Mm-hmm.
You're called a genius, and well, no, I don't think that embarrassed you at all. I call you a genius. Part of your genius is that you are a computer whiz, and the other is that you did have the business acumen to turn it into a working company. Are you a business genius too?
Well, I wouldn't say genius.
Others insist that he is a visionary who has changed our lives with his foresight and bold imagination.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Others think, well, I would say the higher ups that's in the same circle or the club within him thinks that way about him. All us regular folks, we tend to have a difference of opinion on that situation. Okay, just so you know.
Bill had a vision, and I understand it went back even then, that computing would be ubiquitous. It would be part of all of our lives. And indeed, as you all know, he executed on that vision.
And the world today has changed so dramatically in large part due to
What that Bill has done throughout the years.
He has been hailed as a shrewd executive who built the Microsoft empire with his remarkable talent for business.
When the biographers and historians write the history of the 20th century, Bill Gates is going to go down as the best businessman of our century, and Microsoft is one of the greatest.
Well, yeah, but considering that, it was told or exposed that Bill Gates stole his idea or his company and invention from his partner, his friend. So I just wanted to point that out because I don't think they mentioned this into this documentary, but just so they don't, um, the idea wasn't originally his. He stole it.
Companies of the 20th century.
And he has been praised as a philanthropist who is selflessly devoting his wealth to improving the lives of people around the world.
Bill,
Lies.
even your harshest critic would have to admit that your philanthropy work is, planet-shaking, incredible, and could be, if you make it a second act, so amazing that it would dwarf what you've actually done at Microsoft.
But like anyone of his status, he has his detractors. In the 1990s, he was often portrayed as the greedy head of the evil Microsoft monopoly.
Bill Gates isn't content with his Windows system running just.
I mean, well, isn't that what his business is about? Taking out everyone and buying out everyone so that so that his company can become a powerhouse. But see, that's to me, in my opinion, I feel like the only reason why it's like put into that type of way is because they don't want you to see or understand that all of these companies are just merging together so that they can just become a one, just like how it is with the one world government, your one world system, your one world everything that got to do with you and the technology that we have. They want it all to be merged together, being just as one, one world everything around the world, which is a one world government where they will have all full control over every single thing. In my perspective and what I observe, this is what I see. Hey team, hey still standing, hey D Dot, hey Nessa. This is what I see. That doesn't mean others agree. Some may not. But in my perspective, this is what I see from the information given to me at hand. Okay?
A few PCs. He wants it to run the world, spreading like a computer virus into our faxes, our phones, our TV sets, and yes, even our toasters.
But in the age of the coronavirus crisis, he is most often treated like some sort of epidemiologist or leading health researcher.
Back here with us once again to talk about this, as well as testing, treatments, and more, Bill Gates, co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill, thanks so much for being back with us. It's been a little over a month since you were here, and in that time, You said the US had not hit its peak. So at this point, do you think we have peaked? And where do you think we are right now in kind of the arc of the pandemic?
But in truth, none of these perspectives are accurate. Microsoft's big break famously came from a deal to provide software for IBM as they moved into the personal computer market. But the deal was not the result of Gates's technical genius or amazing business acumen. As has been quietly admitted by IBM executives in the years since, Microsoft was given their shot at the chance to work with Big Blue as a result of Gates's mother's relationship with IBM CEO John Opel.
Do you remember your partnership of IBM and Bill Gates? How did it break up?
I do remember very well.
Now, y'all, when they tell this part, this is when the story is gonna get interesting, okay? Because you're told, if I cover correctly, when you was younger, that Bill Gates was one of those kids. You know, was one of those kids who grew up poor and had struggled to get to the top, and he was a genius on his own, and he created Microsoft, right? You was told this as a kid, but listen to the story of what is going to be told to you, because it's going to be a different. I remember something to the effect that he wasn't one of those rich kids. Crazy 5,000. Ooh, girl.
Well, actually, Bill Gates, at the beginning of our relationship with him, was living on pizza and Pepsi Cola in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And his
mother happened to be on the United Way board with our chairman.
Mm-hmm.
And asked his
chairman to help him. And you know, when the chairman comes in and tells you to go help this kid, 900 people get on the plane Monday morning and they all go down to try to help Bill Gates. So I don't see Bill Gates as this great creative person. I see him as an opportunist. And in fact, in those days, there was a lot of sharing of software code. People gave it away. In Silicon Valley, they would share everything. He came.
Oh, so that's what happened. People just were sharing code, software codes. That's very, very interesting. But we will continue.
And he tried to control everything and put a price on it.
Computer historians have long known.
Well, yes, he tries to control everything and put a price on it. And child, if he could put a price on us breathing, he would put a price on that shit too. Oh, hi Trina, hi Giving Love. Hey Tiki. Hey, the beach is better. This beach is better. You know what I'm saying? This is why he got control of mostly all of the land in America, and soon I'm pretty sure he's trying to buy up land in everywhere else: Africa, China, Asia, Australia. I'm pretty sure he's trying to buy up. Hey Ella, hey Deborah. I'm pretty sure he's trying to buy up all that shit. Okay, all the land as much as he can. But don't think that it's just him buying it up on his own by himself. Even though he got the money, so do others. Just keep that in mind.
How the basis for what became MS-DOS was not Bill Gates's brilliant imagination, but QDOS, a quick and dirty operating system that had been thrown together by Tim Patterson, a worker at Seattle Computer Products, as a placeholder until he could sell a proper operating system to his customers. And as even Gates himself admitted, the breakthrough graphical user interface that became the basis for Windows was ripped off from the researchers at the Xerox Palo Alto Research Center.
So he ripped them off there? Damn! Oh, he ripped them off too?
As Bill would say after Apple unsuccessfully sued Microsoft for copyright infringement over Windows GUI, "Hey, Steve, just because you broke into Xerox's house before I did and took the TV Doesn't mean I can't go in later and take the stereo.
And, as Gates also admits, it is not a spirit of selfless generosity that motivates his interest in vaccines and other lucrative health interventions.
I'd like to talk to you about your approach to vaccinations. You wrote something recently, and like you always do, you kind of looked at the problem from a scientific and business perspective on things. You've invested $10 billion in vaccinations over the last 2 decades, and you figured out the return on investment for that. It kind of stunned me. Can you walk us through the math?
You know, we see a phenomenal track record. It's been 100 billion overall that the world's put in. Our foundation is a bit more than 10 billion. But we feel there's been over a 20-to-1 return. So if you just look at the economic benefits, that's a pretty strong number compared to anything else.
As we have seen, Gates's philanthropic investment scheme has paid off well, with his $50 billion net worth having ballooned to over $100 billion after his decade of...
Of course it did. Of course it did. Then he have full control over the internet and the president. And President Bush made him break it up because should have full control. Crazy 5000, I'm gonna need you to rewrite that last part for me. He should have full control. Madeline Gates is much more ruthless than her hubby 100. What's in it for him for the vaccine? Girl, oh, it's fine. Crazy 5000. I got what you said, but then that last part, I kind of read it, but I read it too fast, so I reread it again. So I got what you meant. But see, even though President Bush did that, that don't mean he still didn't end up getting what he wanted, because he now got exactly what he made him break it up for, because he can have full control. And in the government in itself, no corporations, anything is supposed to have more control over the people, which is why it's called the American people, in my opinion. Something like that happened, but he does have majority control. Yeah, he got majority of the control. Shit, 95%.
altruism in the vaccine market. As critics of his foundation have repeatedly pointed out, the 9 million people who die every year of hunger would be best served by securing food supplies, running water, and other basic necessities, not costly medical interventions for rare diseases.
Here we go with
But
this
there is no
vaccine
return
shit.
on investment to be made from that kind of charity. No, this is not about charity. It is about control. The population control grid that Gates has been quietly funding into existence for the past decade, a biometric identification system tied to a digital payments infrastructure that will be used to track, catalog, and control every movement, every transaction, and every interaction of every citizen, is...
Excuse me, what? Can you run that back again? Excuse me, what? Oh, Mr. President Bush said that shouldn't have full control of, I think, the internet or computers. I cannot remember exactly. It's not no surprise. That's exactly what he wants to do. He's following the agenda that many people still deem it as a conspiracy. And you're told that this is exactly what is happening, this is exactly what's going on, and things like that. And then you have a lot of people. Oh wow, he did a whole bunch of them, y'all. Oh, I'm finna do I'm gonna do Bill Gates plan to vaccine the world. I'm gonna do that one after this one, because they got one with Bill Gates and the population control grid. I already know about the control grid. I don't think y'all ready for the control grid, because I think some of y'all still holding on to hope. So I ain't gonna crush your hopes. because y'all know I'm known for crushing them hoes, child. But I ain't gonna crush them hoes just yet. But me talking about my conspiracy, it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people is not gonna want to wake up to. They ain't gonna want to understand, and they may do feel some type of way about the information that is given to them, and especially if they decide to go and do their own research. Okay, but once you go down that rabbit hole, you got to keep going down. You cannot look back, look left or right. Direction, the focus is down that hole because you want to see what's down that fucking hole till you get all the way to the motherfucking bottom and you have discovered the truth of what's beneath or what's down there in the rabbit's hole. Okay. You know, people always have that saying, and well, what does it mean like going down the rabbit hole? And when you do go down the rabbit hole, then what do you expect? Then what is the purpose of you going down the rabbit hole? Well, the purpose of you going down the rabbit hole is for you to find the truth, not what everybody else is telling you, or you're going along what you're told. Just like people's like, you're not even paying attention to what it's like your government doing. You just got your head stuck in the sand while they kick you in the ass, taking everything from you. And most people don't understand that saying. Hey, Miss T, this was aired 7 months ago. Nah, the one with the vaccination, we're gonna see how long that one, because that can't be too long ago, since this one was 7 months ago. So it's like, damn, he got 186 videos with Bill Gates. God dang. Oh, not with Bill Gates. Just he did a whole bunch of things. When did all this take place? This video was reported 7 months ago. Rabbit holes are the devil. Well, D-Dot, see, that's another thing. People use it as in being something of, because keep in mind, you got to see that people are playing on both sides. That's why you have to decipher through what you feel like, what you know is truth, and what you feel like is just lies. That's why you don't believe in every conspiracy that is being put out, especially when you know the games that are being played. It's the reason why they're being played that way, and it's the reason why there's so many crazy conspiracies. Okay, and for one, and then your example is what you seen happen at the Capitol. A lot of people is falling into the trap, in my opinion, and what I see. But they're not looking at it from what they're being told. They're not viewing it from mind breaking out of when they're watching the television or when they're watching it on YouTube about what is going on at the Capitol, because what the news is showing you. But what they're showing you is what they're showing you. But you got to pay attention to exactly what they're showing you. Okay, because shit is hitting in plain sight. You're more so paying attention to what the news reporter is saying and what you see, but you're not paying attention to hearing what they say, but paying more focus into what you see, what's going on, and what they're showing you on those cameras. It's a lot of questions about the whole situation. They know a lot of people got all these questions. So now the game is, okay, all these people finna go to jail. All these people finna get in trouble. You got a lot of famous people too that was there. Come on, why would these people risk their lives breaking into the Capitol all for Trump? You gotta ask yourself why. Why would these people do something like that? Huh? Pay attention to your government. That's what I'm gonna say. Pay attention. Watch, listen, but pay attention. It's the reason why they have y'all pay attention to the shit you ain't supposed to pay attention to. But the shit that you're supposed to pay attention to is hidden in plain sight, but you ain't paying attention to that because you're more so listening to what you're being told from that said news station, in my opinion. But just watching it for a second, and then you're going to see what I mean when I'm telling you this, because the video that I'm going to play when it comes to that Capitol, him and a lot of others just like me, when it first happened, already saw what this was, false flag. Already knew what it was. Already got the questions up. Already got analyzing it. Already, you know what I'm saying, going through the whole entire, and it's a lot too, because you gotta go through all of them. You ain't gonna just listen to one, because you, even though you know you can't listen to what the news people say, you still go there to get what you need to get from them, because they always show their hand. But you paying attention differently from what everybody else is. Because everybody else is still on, oh my God, they came and they stormed the Capitol, and the government needs to do something, and oh my God, how could this happen? But oh, when Black Lives Matter did peaceful protesting, the police wanted to shoot them and beat them and lock them up, but they didn't do nothing to the Trump supporters. No, you wanna know why? Because you guys are playing into the same game. The same game. None of y'all didn't question of whether they were gonna bring up Black Lives Matter next into this whole segment that is going on, that happened at the Capitol Hill. None of y'all didn't think that, well, damn, I wonder if they're gonna mention Black Lives Matter into this, just for thought. I just wanted to know if they was gonna mention it, you know what I'm saying? Just to see some shit. And then boom, it's mentioned and it's talked about. Now it's making people feel more angry, more like they got a fear, more pissed off and agitated and irritated. The whole 9 yards. 'Cause now they done played that game. They keep using that switch and bait shit on people, and some people, it not, I give them credit. They have been catching the shit, to be honest. Because when you see the shit, you'll see that it repeats itself all the time. This is why it's easier for you to point out and pay attention to the real shit that's happening when you seeing the shit taking place, because you already know what's going to happen, because this is already gonna happen many, many, many times. But I feel like because people is home now and more quarantining and shit, they got more time to focus. They got more time to pay attention.
$10 billion. I mean, just speak about the magnitude
Hell
of the
no!
biggest commitment of the foundation, isn't it, Bill? I mean, this is by far.
Hold on, y'all.
Rich beyond the wildest dreams of avarice, to spend his time and invest his fortune in schemes to control the population? To find the answer to that question, we have to examine Gates's family background.
Yes,
Bill
let's
Gates,
do
it
that,
should not be
shall we?
surprising to
Let's
learn,
do
was
that.
born into money. His great-grandfather, J.W. Maxwell, was the president of National City Bank in Seattle. His grandfather, Willard, was also a banker, and his grandmother, Adele, a prominent Seattle civic leader. Bill Gates' mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, was a scion of the Maxwell banking family and, by all accounts, as hard-driving as her forebears. She served as a director of several companies, including First Interstate Bancorp and KIRO TV of Seattle.
Now, be honest with y'all. Now, where I did slip up, because I have been focusing on the what we been having going on over here in the B sector, I did slip up on researching his family's background. Now, I kind of had a clue as to, well, I did a little research on his father, so I knew his father was the first person to create the parent Planned Hood shit. Okay, he was the head horse of that shit. His dad was, but like I said, remember, this is what they call the Mandela effect. When you're told something when you're younger, and then when you're older, it's a different story. Now, when we was young, I could have sworn I thought they said that this man was Poe, and he made it to the top. Like, he started from the bottom, and then he made it to the top. But no, once you do your research on who the fuck he really is, who the fuck he really is kin to, oh, all the shit makes sense. Just like with um Mark Zimmerberg. Okay, don't let that last name fool you. Okay, research that motherfucker. Research the family, the past family, like they did. That's what I should have did with his mother too. I ain't look up her, but that's okay, cause we getting the intel now.
She served as a regent at the University of Washington, and she was appointed to the board of the United Way of America, where, as we have seen, she persuaded IBM CEO John Opel to help her son in his fledgling software development career. Bill's father, William H. Gates Sr., was a prominent Seattle area lawyer. He co-founded a powerful law and lobbying firm, helped Howard Schultz in his bid to buy Starbucks, served on the boards of numerous companies and organizations, and, along the way, had a profound influence on his son's life and career.
My dad was large presence, both physically and in terms of his wisdom. He worked very hard, so he'd leave in the mornings, often before we had breakfast, and get home in time for dinner. I always look up to my dad in terms of how hard he worked. At the dinner table, my dad would go through various lawsuits.
I bet he did look up to his daddy. I bet he did. And what's even more interesting is that his dad is the reason he is the way that he is. Just so some of y'all didn't know. Okay, he very much so looks up to his dad. And by doing that, he is the monster that he is because of his damn daddy.
And expect us to follow along. He had high expectations.
The young Bill Gates, technically William H. Gates III, although his card-playing family dubbed him Trey, learned much from his parents. From his mother's banking family, he inherited a nose for the dollar, as one childhood friend's father called it. From his hard-driving, legal-minded father, he learned the value of legalizing business arrangements. As a child, he even had a legal contract drawn up to grant him the use of his older sister's baseball mitt. These traits would not earn him many friends, but they served him well as he began to bring order to the anarchic software development community of the 1970s. At that time, software for the brand new...
Wow, he looked at every single thing as money. Like, every single thing is money. Now, when you worship money more than the Lord, our Savior in heaven, the Lords of the Lords, the spirits of the spirits, then that's a problem. Okay, you cannot let money consume you as a human being. As a human being, I don't give a damn what nobody say. You can have a lot of money just like Bill Gates, but I bet you he still got them same problems that he thought his money was going to take away. And he's still that weird, nerdy person that people view him back then. Now, I want y'all to hear the story about when he went on dates with females, child. Like, he no damn human.
Personal computer market was the realm of computer hobbyists, people whose excitement about the microcomputer revolution and love of engineering and problem solving led them to develop and share code freely with each other. But this was no good for the young Bill Gates, who, even before Microsoft was off the ground, was already dreaming of commoditizing this hobby and turning it into the basis of a business empire. In 1976, with the ink still wet on Microsoft's first contract with Micro Instrumentation and Telemetry Systems of Albuquerque, New Mexico, the then 21-year-old Gates wrote an open letter to hobbyists, excoriating the early computer enthusiasts who represented his main market for sharing Microsoft code for Altair Basic. As the majority of hobbyists must be aware, most of you steal your software. Hardware must be paid for, but software is something to share. Who cares if the people who worked on it get paid? Is this fair? The royalty paid to us, the manual, the tape, and the overhead make it a break-even operation. One thing you do is prevent good software from being written. Who can afford to do professional work for nothing? What hobbyist can put 3 man-years into programming, finding all bugs, documenting his product, and distribute for free? The fact is...
Well, how the fuck is it free? And that's very interesting to have that mindset too, as to having a problem with these people stealing the software, even though that's what the fuck he was doing. But since he didn't want people to steal it themselves and make their own money, because they could potentially catch up to his money, okay, and make it bigger than him, what he did is decided that he was going to take control of the situation. And he's going to write this whole long ass letter out to these folks, letting them know, no, not gonna happen. You guys are stealing the software. You're not taking the software, okay? You're gonna have to pay for the shit. It's no more stealing it and you get paid your own individual money for it. No, you're gonna have to go through me in order for you to want to use the software and to share and do whatever the fuck you want to do. It has to go through me. And that's basically how he actually mobilize himself in that company.
No one besides us has invested a lot of money in hobby software. We have written 6800 BASIC and are writing 8080 APL and 6800 APL, but there is very little incentive to make this software available to hobbyists. Most directly, the thing you do is theft. The letter was awkward and tone-deaf, as many people have described the young Bill Gates in his social interactions. It heaped vitriol on the very people who would be the customers of any future business, and tried to change an established culture of sharing software code merely by decree. Even Apple computers, which would go on to be one of the prime purveyors of walled garden systems that restrict users' ability to control their own computers, scored an easy marketing victory by responding to Gates's angry letter with a reminder that, yes, folks, Apple Basic is free. But the gauntlet was thrown down, and Gates would have his way. Although freeware and other forms of open source software development still exist, the establishment of software code as legally protected intellectual property has led to the rise of billionaires like Gates.
Mm-hmm.
A nose for the dollar and a knowledge of how to use the legal system to get what you want were not the only things to emerge from Bill Gates' childhood, however. His parents also encouraged discussion about the family's charity work and the causes they held close to their heart. As Gates revealed to Bill Moyers in 2003, those causes included the population issue, which sparked a lifelong interest in reproductive health.
The issue that really grabbed me as urgent were issues related to population, reproductive health.
But did you come to reproductive issues as an intellectual?
When I was growing up, my parents were always involved in various volunteer things. My dad was head of Planned Parenthood, and it was very controversial to be involved with that.
Gates tips his hand when he equates issues related to population with reproductive health. The topic is particularly controversial because population control and reproductive health have been used for half a century as a euphemism for eugenics, the discredited pseudoscience that holds that certain families are fit to be leaders of society by virtue of their superior genes.
It's superior genes, bitch. You ain't superior. The fuck? I don't give a damn how much money you got on this earth, bitch. Ain't no way in hell another human being is going to make me. Let me not even cuss, okay? Because See, when I be listening to this type of stuff, it be irritating the hell out of me. Okay. But let me try not to cuss. Okay. Let me. Okay. I don't know why human beings have the nerve or the audacity to think that the amount of money that they have makes them superior to the next human being. That's not how life works. Now, I know a lot of people have been given the image of that's how life works, but no. In real life, outside of the image, outside of the matrix, that is not how it works at all. No amount of money or no amount of money in this world is going to put another human being before another. Now, if you have people out here literally letting this man be put in a superior complexity to stroke his ego, then they more foolish than he is. But keep in mind, he does have people who do support him and defend for him to the T. They do. Okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't expect other folks to view this man as what he wants y'all to view him. Okay, to me, it's more so about how he felt when he was growing up. He didn't fit in society at all, nowhere. Okay, he didn't fit in nowhere, and except for him being around computers. That's what he felt. He fit in my eyes. Okay, I feel like it became more of an ego type thing with him is because he didn't fit in nowhere. And then he wrote that letter and everybody already knew he was socially awkward just because from the letter that he fucking wrote. Okay. That ego stroked for him because he made sure that when he become the most richest and most powerful man on earth, everybody will want him into every single thing, even though that's not really how it is. But you pretty much to me he pretty much bought his way into every single thing, which is why a lot of people have questions pertaining to the vaccine, and we're going to get on that. I just want you guys to hit a part about, with his family. We're gonna listen up to the 15-minute mark, and then we're gonna stop so we can go to this Bill Gates one, because I need y'all to hear this shit. Okay, but let's continue with this part, and then we're gonna be done.
As we saw in Why Big Oil Conquered the World, eugenics was a field named and codified by Francis Galton, cousin of Charles Darwin, ostensibly concerned with heredity and what would later.
Hey, Lady Nikki, girl. I'm so happy to see you, Lady Nika. I hope you feeling well. And I hope you resting. And I hope you ain't worried about what another bitch gotta say. See, I said I wasn't gonna cuss. But this ain't this something else though. Um, I hope that you ain't letting what a bitch say to you hit nothing, move nothing, but bounce off a wall or let it float in the air and where poof, be gone. Um, keep being you, queen. Okay, keep healing that mouth and don't address damn bitch. No matter what a bitch say, just know we out here. We got you. We holding it down for you, and we give two fucks what a bitch thinks, say, feel, or nothing. But a bitch need to run you your nails. That's all I'ma say. And on to commentary. I know, Lady Nika. I know you don't. Hey, Miss Reliance. But Miss P, you know good and well that's how society will and did view him. He had the cash, so he retained the attention. Well, see, D dot, that's what they want you to see. This is why I say pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention, girl. See, that's what they wanted you to think. Just because he's the richest man on earth and he got all this money, and you think that everyone will like this man or view this man or give him the attention. Keep in mind, the media gave him the attention. The only reason he got attention that he did through the media It's because it was the image that is put on it to make you guys out here think he out here doing all these wonderful things and helping society and stuff like that and blah blah blah, but don't know why he also helping society and doing all these so-called wonderful things and want to give everyone vaccine. He's buying up your land, he's buying up stock, he's buying up any and everything else that you ain't paying attention to. But you see what's going on. But you're not focused on that because you're more so focused on the image that they're giving you of who this person is by the things that he's supposedly what the things that he's doing. You're seeing that, but what you're not seeing is his buying up all the land, him buying up our business, and him buying up any and everything that he can buy up. He's buying up everything. Why does he have why? And this is another thing I said people don't question. When that whole thing happened with the glyphosate and Monsanto and stuff, a lot of people didn't even do their research and figure out where the fuck Monsanto came from. Bill Gates. And guess who owns a Bayer? Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. They bought out Monsanto. Even though he already owned it, but see, this is the monopoly, the game that they play when they had his money. A bitch can be dumb, but a bitch can be smart in other shit that they see, that they watching, that they see. I mean, peeping game. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all seeing him give it to charity, helping the children, women over there, and the men in Africa and India, and making sure they get vaccines, health care, school education. Oprah did that same shit until Oprah got kicked the fuck out of Africa. So it was said. So I heard. You know what I'm saying? So I heard. She supposedly, allegedly, had to leave Africa because the first school that she did, that she built for the African kids, supposedly the kids went missing. Don't know what happened to all those kids that was at her school the first day of school. People felt like it was something wrong, suspicious. And the government wouldn't do shit about it. You know what I'm saying? Just like what happened with the Queen Elizabeth, when she was in her younger days. I swear that lady seemed like she about 2,000 years old or some shit. She looked like a demon to me. Now, I ain't saying she is a demon. I'm just saying she looked like one again. Her husband, when they were younger, and they went to a Catholic church, a Catholic school. They went to one of those religion schools, okay? Y'all look at this shit up on YouTube and go get your own damn research. They went to one of the religious church. I don't know if it's Catholic, whatever, but they went to one of those church and requested 10 kids. I think it was 6 girls and 4 boys, all under the age of 10. Went on supposedly a picnic trip, lunch, some type of crap. The Queen and her husband came back, but the children that they requested to come with them never returned. And for some reason, nobody from the church, the parents, or nothing, was mad, pissed off, in an uproar about it. Even though they know for a fact that the Queen and her husband left on this bus with these kids to go have a picnic somewhere. I just want to understand why the hell did they leave to go have a picnic somewhere else with the children. First of all, my mind ain't going nowhere. I don't give a damn. You is the Queen of England, bitch. You ain't taking my child nowhere without me. But nobody questioning. Nobody, nothing.
Be known as genetics. The eugenicists believed that the rich and powerful were rich and powerful not because of luck or chance or happenstance, and certainly not from the deployment of cutthroat business tactics and underhanded dealings. No, the rich and powerful had attained their status because they came from better stock. Conversely, the poor were poor because of their defective germplasm. As transparent as it seems to us today that this ideology was a self-serving self-justification for the ruling class, it was quickly taken up as the great social crusade of the early 20th century. From Teddy Roosevelt to H.G. Wells to Julian Huxley to Winston Churchill, there was widespread support for the eugenicist notion that society must strive to make sure that the rich and well-born breed as much as possible, and the poor, infirm, and feeble-minded be prevented from having children.
Mm-hmm.
A common eugenicist argument was that the scarce resources of society should not be used to support the lower classes, as that only encouraged more of their kind. Instead, life-saving medical care and intervention should be rationed so that those resources can be best put to use elsewhere. So-called negative eugenicists even took things further, with some, like famed playwright George Bernard Shaw, calling for people to be called before a state-appointed board to justify their existence or be put to death.
Child, I just want y'all hear this lizard worm licking motherfucker saying the words. I don't even know how the civilians thought that it was okay for him to come out here and address them to say this bullshit to them. But listen to the bullshit that he thought he could just say out his mouth because he got money. Bitch, okay.
People whom I want to kill. Not in any unkind or personal spirit, but it must be evident to all of you. You must all know half a dozen people at least who are no use in this world, who are more trouble than they are worth. And I think it would be a good thing to make everybody come before a properly appointed board, just as he might come before the income tax commissioner, and say every 5 years or every 7 years, just put him there and say, sir or madam, now we'll be kind enough to justify your existence.
It been said that he need motherfuckers to come from. He has a lot of people that he want to kill, and he said that there's a lot of people in the world who is useless. There are more trouble than there is alive. Okay. So every 5 to 7 years, he wants them to come before the Board of Commissioner against the tax commissioner. And they're going to ask that man or that woman, hi, can you please justify your existence? So you basically got to tell them, give them a reason why you should live. And it's up to them whether they feel like what you give them is a good enough answer to they want you to live, or they can just, kill you. Bitch, like y'all seriously gonna let these people like take control of y'all over some money? That's what y'all doing? How did these people back in those days allow this man and the tax commissioner and whoever else that had the same ideas as him thought it's okay for people to justify their existence to him? Bitch, how about you cussing again. See, how about you justify your existence to us? Why do you think because you got a lot of money, you got more upper hand on me? All you got is money. Even the dumb motherfucker. Ooh. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little irritated, but let me roll it back in. Okay. Even a dumb person can be a billionaire. That still don't mean you got way more control over me. You could be the smartest person that you want to be and have a whole bunch of money. What does that mean? I mean, last time I checked, I ain't know you ain't gonna die. When did I thought we all died? I thought we all bleed blood. I thought you had a heart. I had a heart. I got a brain. You got a brain. Eyes, feet, nose. Don't we got bodies? Don't we breathe? Don't we all breathe? So and don't all we got a time when we stop. So how do you think you put on a higher pedestal than me just because you got a whole bunch of money? Child, okay. Keep thinking that the image and money puts you above someone else. Keep thinking that, child. That's what you do.
But in the post-World War II era, as the name of eugenics became tarred by association with the Nazi atrocities, the talk of death panels and other harsh eugenicist notions was dropped from public conversation. Now, the quest to reduce the size of the poor population was spoken of as population control and reproductive health. Still, occasionally, these old negative eugenics ideas are revisited in moments of candor.
You're raising tuitions at the University of California as rapidly as they can. And so the access that used to be available to the middle class or whatever is just rapidly going away. That's a trade-off society is making because of very, very high medical costs and a lack of willingness to say,
it's not because of no very, very high medical costs. First of all, if your government didn't allow the damn the pharmaceutical companies and doctors and shit. Ooh, see here y'all go, y'all. You know what? I'm gonna give up on that cussing shit because these motherfuckers here just be pissing me all the way off. Okay, I ain't hell no. Fuck that. Okay, because this shit is annoying as hell with these people in the way that they think. To me, it is. Okay, it's only high because your government is allowing them to do it. They're being bought and paid for. See, this is why I tell y'all when it comes to the voting shit and it comes to whatever goes on in your government, even though you think even in your local you have control, no, you don't. No, you don't. They are very well connected, more connected than you guys think. And that's where you come at a disconnect when it comes to all this stuff that I was trying to tell y'all about when it came down to this voting with Biden and Trump and all that was going to happen. I told y'all all this is going to happen. Some of y'all still didn't catch on to it. And some of y'all starting to see it for what it is. Some of y'all see that, yeah, I see that there isn't no blue versus red. I see the game now. But some of y'all still on this blue versus red crap. Like, they all getting paid. They all getting their hand into shit. They're giving money, millions of dollars to corporations. But they have this big kerfuffle over how much stimulus money they want to give y'all. None of y'all have been paying attention like you supposed to be paying attention. And that's probably fine as to why some of y'all haven't. But don't be in your feelings or feel like you got to question some shit when you ain't even been doing your own research on the shit. You're just going by what you're told and then taking that piece of information that you're getting and then leaving it like that and then letting that just be what the fuck it is. Okay, if that's what you want to do, then do that. But if I did deeper research than you did, then don't come over here trying to tell me shit until you done your full investigation on the shit. Okay, these motherfuckers investigate y'all every single day with your motherfucking phones. Would they have the cameras any every fucking where? Most of y'all don't even know they have cameras on highways, streets, everywhere. Okay. And they about to have it is mostly, well, I ain't gonna say everywhere. They got it majority in a lot of places. But these people want to have the shit everywhere. That's what he wants to do as well. He want it everywhere. Okay, it's not just by people. Oh my God, it's Bill Gates. He has so much money, and it's Bill Gates, bitch. It's a man who wants to control your life. That wants to be in your head and tell you what the fuck you can and cannot do. That's not free will. That's not how things works in life. When you get out of the matrix, that's not how they work. Okay, just because he got that money, put aside that money crap and then really research who he is. Then all that how you love and care and how you feel about him will change. A lot of his supporters have seen it. I will say that, but he still got those ones that still, because they have people who also that's on YouTube that's giving this praise to him. So you still gonna have those people that's getting brainwashed and sucked into the situation. Okay, MK Ultra is a very powerful device. Okay, for y'all that didn't know, it is a very powerful device. And I'm glad I brought that up because I'm finna let y'all hear. Because I don't think some of y'all know what MK Ultra device is and how it operates and what is its purpose. Okay, now y'all don't watch Transformers. Everybody, I know most of everybody don't watch Transformers. You see it as in the Decepticons versus the The Autobots. I don't see it like that. I don't see it like that. You may see it like that because it's always giving you the good versus bad bull crap that they do. Blah 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 blah. That's what they do, right? I ain't seeing it from that. When I look at it and I see the big Decepticon that's able to hack into your government satellite dish system that is sitting, outside of Earth, that's sitting in space, right? Okay, so if that Decepticon can transform into a device that can literally plug himself into the satellite system, then why wouldn't y'all think that there's a device that's here on Earth that can do the same thing? As to why they want to all be connected, as to why you think they want to get inside your mind. How else you think they're gonna get inside your mind? How else you think these people gonna control your mind? You think that they're just gonna just find some time? No, they been knew about it. See, this is why when I talk about, and this is why I said, but it's gonna be so much in so little time, because I know I'm about to be going about 20 minutes. But it's so little, it's a lot for the whole situation.
Now, is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-off in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion.
It is worth questioning why this man, who openly muses about death panels and the trade-offs of providing healthcare to the elderly, is to be taken completely at face value in his attempts to slow population growth in the third world, or to handle a coronavirus health crisis that primarily affects the elderly. That the Gates agenda is being driven by a eugenicist ideology is suggested by multiple lines of evidence, both historical and current. As we have also seen in Why Big Oil Conquered the World, the Rockefeller family was instrumental in funding and promoting eugenics, both in America and overseas.
Of course they were.
The Rockefellers helped fund the Eugenics Record Office.
Of course they
The
did.
founding director of the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, William Welch, sat on the ERO's board and helped direct its activities. The Rockefellers sponsored the studies of the eugenics researchers at the Kaiser Wilhelm Institutes in Germany.
You don't
Ernst
say.
Rudin, who would go on to draft Nazi Germany's forced sterilization law. And when the American Eugenics Society became embarrassed of its own name, its longtime director, Frederick Osborne, merely took over as president of the Rockefeller-founded Population Council. This dedication to the cause of public health did not escape the approving gaze of Bill Gates Sr. In a chapter of his 2009 book, Showing Up for Life, called Walking with Giants, he writes admiringly of the Rockefellers and their influence in the field. Every corner we've turned in the field of global health, we've found that the Rockefellers were already there and had been there for years. When we committed to childhood immunization, we found ourselves building on efforts the Rockefeller Foundation had helped launch and fund in the 1980s.
Of course they did.
When we became interested in fighting malaria and tuberculosis, we learned that the Rockefellers had been studying the prevention and treatment of such diseases around the globe for, in some cases, as long as 100 years.
Hey, bestie girl, what you doing here? We talking conspiracies and stuff, but I don't know if they told you yet. I don't know if they dropped the intel to you yet. But the girl, they said, did you get the Zoom intel, girl? Cause I don't know nothing about it. I ain't get it because I've been focusing on this real quick. But did you get it? Cause they said that you was mentioned in the Zoom chat this time. So I just want to let you know that. But we doing a conspiracy live, child.
A similar dynamic held true in the case of HIV/AIDS. A lesson we learned from studying and working with the Rockefellers is that to succeed in pursuing audacious goals, you need like-minded partners with whom to collaborate. And we learned that such goals are not prizes claimed by the
Girl, what? I knew yesterday. Yes, child, they on their way to die. So what they It's 5 major families along with the Rockefeller. Yes, it is, Lisa. I knew yesterday. Is you gonna talk about it tonight? Is you going live tonight to talk about it? Now they want to dox you now. Girl, you got these people in their motherfucking feelings. They want to dox you and stuff. So is you gonna talk about it? Huh?
Short-winded. The Rockefellers stayed with tough problems for generations. As Gates Sr. suggests, it is by working with like-minded partners that such great achievements in the field of global health can be made. For the Gates, these like-minded partners include the Rockefellers themselves.
Hold on, you got lie after me. So bestie. So bestie, do you need me to end my live? You know, so you could go live to discuss this. You know what I'm saying? Bestie. Hey, Spicy Red. Hi, Blue Skies. Look at Lady Nika. She talking. Right, Lady Nika? We trying to see, like. Hi. Hi, Tamika. No, don't end your lie. I came to support you. Damn it! I knew you was gonna say that bullshit. You should have been like, yeah, bitch, end your lie so I can address this shit. But that's okay, cause I'm about to end soon anyways, to be honest, cause I'm about to go in about 35 minutes. I gotta go. Anyways. So this ain't gonna be long.
Gates Sr. got to discuss global health, agriculture, and environment with the likes of David Rockefeller Sr. and David Rockefeller Jr. at a meeting on philanthropy in a global century at Rockefeller University campus.
Y'all, and they love having these secret meetings that the world does not know nothing about until they tell you what they plan gonna be. Girl, it's so much stuff that I could like talk about, but I ain't got that much time. But trust and believe, we're gonna finish this tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna go live early in the morning. So then we're gonna be oh dang. See, when I do come out, I'm gonna need somebody to come up here because I'm gonna be going somewhere else too. So I ain't gonna be home. But anyway.
In 2000. And Bill Gates, as we have seen, co-hosted a meeting on reducing the population with David Rockefeller in 2009. But the most salacious hints of a deeper agenda are not to be found in the Gates' public associations, but in the associations that they have tried to hide from the public.
Jeffrey Epstein may be dead, but this story isn't. A shock.
Ooh, did y'all hear that? Jeffrey Epstein ain't dead. I'm just saying. But I'm so glad. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad they brought this part up. Okay? This is what I wanted y'all to hear. This shit about to be over. I said 15. We gonna stop at the 15 so I could go to something else. And here I go still going through this whole, but this is good though. They did a good job, because what they tried to do is when you on here, you got to try to do it in a cold way. You know what I'm saying? You have to I don't think he ain't dead. We know he ain't dead. They not try. I don't know who the fuck they think they fooling, but we know he ain't dead. Kiss our ass and that shit, okay? Kiss our ass. Anyways, this part right here that y'all just heard, this is the very important part. So I'm glad I kept going. Listen to this shit now. I need y'all to listen. Focus. Pay attention to this shit. Listen.
A new report from the New York Times sheds light on the connection between Microsoft founder Bill Gates and the late Jeffrey Epstein. After Gates came up in connection with Epstein and MIT Media Lab, Gates gave a statement to the Wall Street Journal where he insisted he did not have any business relationship or friendship with Epstein. But new reporting from the New York Times outlines numerous meetings between Gates and Epstein and a conversation with Bill and Melinda Gates' foundation, a connection between their foundation and JP Morgan to set up a charitable fund that would financially benefit Epstein. You know what I want to know? Why?
We want to know why too.
In August of last year, a string of information connecting Bill Gates to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein began to emerge. Flight logs revealed that Gates had flown on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet. An email surfaced showing disgraced MIT.
And he ain't flew on it one time, bitch. Now I'ma tell y'all something that it's gonna hurt y'all hard. It's gonna hurt y'all like it did me. Y'all like cry, like damn, you motherfucker. Yo, Chris Tucker was on the flight logs. Well, log. He was on there, y'all. He flew one time. Now with him, he was only on there one time. What is that model? Naomi Campbell. Now she was on his flight logs multiple times, and Bill Gates was on that bit multiple times. Now the only one who was smart enough not to go on his plane, so he have to log his name in, was Donald Trump. He was the only one. Cause I don't even know why any of them took his. I don't even know why Bill Gates took his flight logs. Like that was stupid. But the only one who knew to not to do that was Trump, which is why a lot of people were like, no, Trump cut ties with him once he. No, he been new. What you think his parties were? Okay, please not sit here and just because you like somebody overlook the demon in them. Okay, don't do that because that demon be quick to snatch out your fucking throat before you even could say anything else. Okay, I'm just saying, like all of them hung out with him multiple times, did business together. Come on now, like I'm in Florida. None of us motherfuckers knew who the fuck was Jeffrey Epstein was. And keep in mind, it's been years. It took years, about 10 years for them to actually get his ass. Because before it was a conspiracy. This man, they talked about before when there were women from Florida, from West Palm Beach, okay? West Palm Beach, bitch. All the rich folks love come to Palm Beach. Bitch, get the fuck out of Florida with that nasty ass shit. Okay, we already got enough crazies, and here y'all go with this pedophilia shit. And about we don't take that shit back to New York. Sorry for the people that live in New York, but I'm just saying. Anyways, so shit, I almost forgot what I was about to say. Girl, cause that shit had me hot. This shit was going on for years. Women said they've been coming to the police, telling the police about this man. Girls that was 14, 13 years old were coming to this, going to their parents, and their parents and then were going to the law enforcement, telling them that this man was doing these things, and they didn't believe them. They told them that they're checking this into it, but they ain't never checked into it. It's a reason why they ain't never checked into it. This man been doing this. This man been had this going on, and he been had these allegations on him. And when it came out, it didn't come out because of the police. It came out because the one of the girls' parents decided to tell the story and leak it out into the news, and a news station just decided to be bold enough to put the shit out so it can be a speculation. But trust me, it's not even bold enough. They put that out because that's what they did back in that day, back then, because they made it out of the conspiracy. They literally made Jeffrey Epstein whole situation with pedophilia, the pedophile island, and all that shit of him and the stories that was around that man. The media played a part into that shit. In my opinion, they played a part into that shit because they swept it under the rug, just like they did that dude Jimmy Savile. Okay, he was working for what it was, the NBC news people. Parents and children complaining to them, and the CEOs and all the motherfuckers that was there about this man molesting and abusing children. They knew what was going on. They kept that shit on the rocks for a reason, because all of them is connected with each other. Yes, they do shit, and it's more so holding each other's sins. That's how the shit is going. You do this fucked up shit, and we gonna hold each other's sins. It's easier for a bitch who got a whole lot of money to commit the biggest crimes that they could commit and get the fuck away with it if they got a lot of money. Nobody never even knew who the fuck this man was. So how the fuck he out of the blue become a so-called magical motherfucking billionaire, okay, doing business shit, and nobody never heard of him? Like, come on, y'all, pay attention And then when it all comes out, all these people want to say, "Oh no, I stopped fucking with Jeffrey Epstein, bitch." When you start fucking with him, when the police came and picked his ass up on child porn, child abuse charges, bitch, that's when you motherfuckers started fucking with him. Y'all was willingly going to this man parties, okay, and the pedophile island that they literally made out of a conspiracy. Okay, so many people was defending that shit, thinking that that shit was just a conspiracy, only to find out that no, the pedophile island actually do exist. Not only do exist, but bitch, when you pull out on the island, the shit look like you at Africa because he got it looking like the Egyptian type palace. Okay, he ain't got to look like nothing else but looking like the Egyptian. Now, if you follow the Egyptians' history of independent research on that, you'll understand why he chose that design for that island. And the island is next to Haiti. Okay, peak game. That island is next to Haiti. So what the hell you think he was doing when they were underground? These bitches wasn't on top of the island having to get on time. He had a house that was there to make it, you know how people do pop-ups, make build shit just for a pop-up of it. But it's what's beneath shit that is going on. The police was confused at first until they actually went into the little tapped the little temple thing only to find out it's an alligator. Alligator. It was an elevator that takes you going down. You go underground, and once you go all the way down into it's a whole place, and it's built, and the shit look like let them describe. They ain't gonna tell us the real description of what they really saw, but it just was like it just was the most weirdest thing for a rich person to buy. That's what they said. But to me, you already know they had shit down in the way they was torturing children, extracting their adrenochrome, and doing all the fuck that shit that they can do. Especially keep in mind, black children, black people, our melanin is popping. That shit is very potent and very powerful, and that's what they wanted for now. Though he also had a another side where he kept all 200 young little girls that when he had 200, he was getting close to having almost 200 young little girls into this same underground of hell, okay, the dungeon of hell. He had that for these little girls because he also says that he wanted to impregnate all of them so that he could save the white race. Okay, that wasn't my words, that was his. But all of that shit right there with him pertaining to him when this was going on years ago, when it first was told about him in pedophilia and all this stuff, and these people still hung out with him and knew he was accused of this stuff, but still staying hanging out with him because he didn't get caught. The media helped them out because they made it seem like to the public and everyone that it was a conspiracy and there was no truth to these claims until he got busted, actually got arrested and busted. But keep in mind, it's the reason why they got him, because he did have a lot of dirt too on people, a lot of people. That's why he got out of the first situation that he did. Now this second situation, how he got out of it is Operation Fake It. And Operation Fake It is you get a fake death. You get a fake death. You committed suicide, or someone poisoned you, someone murdered you. You know, he became the sacrificial scapegoat because they knew he had a lot of stuff, a lot of information on a lot of big and very powerful government officials and rich folks like Bill Gates, them that were all with him, partying with him, information like supposedly they have video recordings, tapes, all this shit. Okay, that's why Maxwell is in prison now. But you see, y'all paying attention to the bullshit that's going on with your government, with the Capitol, right? You see how y'all more focused on that, but nobody don't know that Maxwell had court this month. They don't know she go back to court next month. That's what you got to pay attention to, bitch.
Media Lab director Joy Ito, who resigned from his position after it was discovered that he had helped cover up Jeffrey Epstein's identity as an anonymous donor to the lab, informing his staff that a $2 million donation to the lab in 2014 was a gift from Bill Gates, directed by Jeffrey Epstein. As the story gained momentum, Gates tried to downplay the relationship, with a Gates spokesperson protesting that Gates didn't know it was Epstein's plane, and Gates himself insisting that I didn't have any business relationship or friendship with
Liar! Yes, you did, bitch.
Predicted by the New York Times, who reported in October of 2012 that Gates had in fact met with Epstein on multiple occasions, even going so far as to discuss the creation of a multi-billion-dollar charitable fund with seed money from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and JP Morgan Chase. According to the Times, Gates emailed his colleagues about Epstein in 2011. His lifestyle is very different and kind of intriguing, although it would not work for me. Epstein's will even named Boris Nikolic, a Harvard-trained immunologist who served as the chief scientific advisor to both Microsoft and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and who appears in the sole publicly known photo of Epstein and Gates's 2011 meeting at Epstein's Manhattan mansion, as the backup executor of Epstein's estate. It is not difficult to see why Gates would try to distance himself from his relationship with a child sex trafficker.
Oh yeah, we know why.
Epstein, after all, is suspected of ensnaring high-ranking politicians, businessmen, and even royalty in an intelligence-directed honeypot operation, recording them in the act of sexually abusing underage girls and using that evidence.
And I just wanted to make sure y'all heard it. Operation called Honeypot. That's what the operation was called, y'all. Honey Pot.
As blackmail. But, as it turns out, the attempt to suppress the Gates-Epstein story may have been an attempt to suppress the revelation of an altogether different shared interest.
Sources say several accusers have come forward in New Mexico, where Epstein owns a sprawling ranch. According to a new report published in the New York Times, not verified by NBC News, Epstein wanted to use the ranch for controlled breeding, using his DNA to improve humanity, citing 2 award-winning scientists and an
Oh, look at that. Look at that. You did good on your reporting. Look at that. Now, see, you see how the media switched that shit, though? It says hope to impregnate dozens of women. No, the fuck he didn't say women. He said girls, little fucking girls. Why is y'all switching it from little girls to women? He didn't say he was going to impregnate, get women, a whole bunch of women pregnant. Okay, the women was just the cover up for what he was doing. Oh, my hand itched. I'm gonna give me some more money for what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker said that he was going to impregnate all of the little girls. They were little girls. He wanted them to be 10 and younger. He'll possibly take 11, 12, or 13. And 14 is the highest he'll go. But he wanted all those 200 women. Okay, it was 200, which I don't know why they just saying dozens. It was 200 children that he had in that in his farming thing, Rich, he wanted to call it. And he wanted to get all those young little girls pregnant so that he could save the white race. Ain't no save no humanity. That's bullcrap. But see, this is what the media does.
Advisor to large companies and wealthy individuals, the article reports Epstein surrounded himself with leading scientists and would tell them he wanted to have 20 women impregnated at a time on the ranch.
The already scarcely believable Jeffrey Epstein story took another bizarre turn in August of 2019, when it was reported that Epstein hoped to seed the human race with his DNA. As the New York Times explained, Epstein's plan to impregnate 20 women at a time at his New Mexico ranch in order to seed the human race with his DNA, a plan he told to a number of the scientific luminaries he kept in his orbit, put a modern gloss on a very old idea. Mr. Epstein's vision reflected his long-standing fascination with what has become known as transhumanism, the science of improving the human population through technologies like genetic engineering and artificial intelligence. Critics have likened transhumanism to a modern-day version of eugenics, the discredited field of improving the human race through controlled breeding. Epstein's interest in genetics led him to sponsor a number of scientists working in the field, including George Church, a Harvard geneticist whose lab received funding from Epstein's foundation from 2005 to 2007 for cutting-edge science. Church publicly apologized for his connection to Epstein, which included several meetings a year from 2014 onward. This was neither the first nor the last time that this unassuming Harvard biologist, whose cutting-edge science often strays into controversial areas, caused a public scandal. In 2019, Church proposed a genetics dating app, which was immediately denounced
Make no mistake with this whole genetics situation, it ain't about saving no human race. Tell them the real truth as to why he wanted to do it like that. In breeding, they wanted to do, but they wanted those the human slaves for demon consumption. That's what they wanted to do. Okay, it's all about trying to get as many demons as they can.
As applied eugenics. Church also acted as scientific advisor to Editas Medicine, a startup seeking to use the genome editing tool CRISPR-Cas9 to eliminate diseases by deleting the parts of a genetic code responsible for the illness.
Oh, they talked about the crisp. I wanted you guys to hear about that. Like, these motherfuckers can change your DNA. That's playing with God. You're not supposed to touch our DNA. That is a no. Okay? This is what Enoch was talking about when he said God said he didn't want us to know about these things. Because human beings goes to try to play God. And you can't do that. You can't. Things always go wrong when you try to change stuff the way that it was naturally created.
In 2015, the company announced it had raised $120 million from a group led by Epstein's appointed backup executor, Dr. Boris Nikolic. Naturally, that group of investors included Bill Gates. Yes, Bill Gates is certainly following his father's advice to collaborate with like-minded partners. So the question remains, is Bill Gates motivated by eugenics? Given that eugenics went underground over half a century ago, we are unlikely ever to unearth a frank admission along those lines from Gates himself. After all, there are no longer any card-carrying members of the American Eugenics Society. The society was rebranded in the 1970s when, as the society's founder noted, it became evident that changes of eugenic nature would be made for reasons other than eugenics, and that tying a eugenic label on them would more often hinder than help their adoption. But there was an American Eugenics Society in the 1920s, and it just so happened to boast a William H. Gates on its member roster. But perhaps that is just a coincidence.
That ain't no damn
And
coincidence.
there was an American Eugenics Society in the 1960s, when William H. Gates II was preceded as head of Planned Parenthood by Alan Guttmacher, who simultaneously served as the director of the American Eugenics Society. And perhaps it was coincidence that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation organized their London Summit on Family Planning, at which the Gates recommitted themselves to funding population control in the Third World, in July 2012, on the anniversary of the first International Eugenics Congress, held in London exactly 100 years prior. And perhaps it is reaching to compare the young Bill Gates's dating preferences to the genetic-based dating favored by modern-day eugenicists.
You're not reaching.
I interviewed several women who had dated Bill just briefly, and one told me the very first question Bill asked her was, "What did you score on your SAT test?" You know, this is not exactly,
That's what I wanted y'all to hear, because the idiot, we gonna talk about that some more. That's the only part, and then I'm done, y'all. Done. That's the part I wanted y'all to hear, where where Bill, where the girls that he have dated asked him about when he went on dates with them, and then he asked them what they scored on their test. Like, who the fuck? Like, who?
Front door closed.
Girl, shut up.
They gave me a strike, so I wasn't able to upload. I won the appeal, and now I can upload again here on my unmonetized channel. But I want everyone out there first before I go on an unbelievable rant, because I'm pissed off. And if you like when I'm pissed off, then you're going to want to stick around. Before I get into that, I have two things I need everyone here to know. Number one is I have multiple channels, okay? I'm now uploading on this channel with the yellow background. This is my biggest channel, 525,000 subs.
Okay, wait. Okay, there we go.
Let's see. I've been saying it, and this is why it's a problem, but why don't you just take a look if you don't know what's going on? This is the news telling you what's going on, giving you your little predictive pre-programming to what you're about to see go down in America.
United States on high alert this morning. The FBI warning of plans for armed protests in all 50 state capitals with threats of storming government buildings. Our Chief Justice Correspondent, Pierre Thomas, is in Washington with those details. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, good morning. The FBI facing perhaps its most difficult challenge since 9/11, trying to determine if there was a plot to attack the Capitol involving multiple players, and now racing to respond to new threats across the country as we head toward the inauguration.
This morning, security stepped up across the country after the FBI sent a disturbing bulletin warning that armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals. The new intelligence pointing to an unnamed armed group calling for the storming of government buildings and courthouses if President Trump is removed before January 20th. The FBI saying this group is also planning attacks here in D.C. the day of Biden's inauguration. Specific threats identified against Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, and their threats against House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, too. State officials reacting to a dangerous environment. New Jersey's governor pleading with citizens not to come to his capital this weekend to protest.
Even if your heart is 1,000% in the right place, stay home. Mayor Muriel Bowser calling for emergency action.
If I'm scared of anything, it's for our democracy, because we have a very extreme factions in our country that are armed and dangerous.
The National Park Service has closed the Washington Monument until at least January 24th, citing credible threats.
The FBI and Homeland Security officials under incredible pressure, the most I can recall since the September 11th attacks.
Oh, no big deal. Nothing to see here. This isn't about mass censorship. This isn't about turning us into terrorists. And what have I said? I have specifically said it for years. Okay, I know other channels. I know High Impact Flicks has been saying it. I know Richie from Boston's been saying it. I know Hacking the Headlines has been saying it. I know Enter the Stars has been saying it. I know Monograph has been saying it. Who else? I mean, the list goes on and on. Jurassic Liars has been saying. I mean, and I'm not leaving anyone out. There's other ones that have been saying it too. I'm firing off the top of my head. Sling & Stone. I mean, channel after channel after channel has been telling its listeners, saying, look, if you buy into this QAnon stuff, this is what's happening. They are setting you up. And that's exactly what's happening now. It's a setup. The problem is that we're lumped into the setup.
Yep.
And if anyone out there is actually thinking about showing up at this protest, you are a complete fool. Get your head out of your ass.
Excuse my language, but it's necessary.
Time like this to make a point, because you're being set up. There is going to be a massive psyop at one of these places. I don't know which one, but I guarantee you there's going to be one, which is going to bring in martial law, whether it's temporary or not, whether it's a test or not. They are getting people who are normal, patriot, if you quote unquote, these people who love the flag and love America. That's fine. They love their rights. Who doesn't love them? Right, having free speech especially, and the right to bear arms. They're getting them to show up at these events. They're sending in military operatives from Central Intelligence and other secret organizations within our government to hijack these events and cause chaos and to break into buildings.
I told y'all this is what was going to happen. I told you to pay attention. A lot of people is paying attention to Trump supporters breaking into the Capitol and wanting these people to get arrested, but not realizing that it's an inside thing. It's the reason why they let them in that building and they broke the windows and did all the stuff that they did and then video recorded themselves doing the crime.
And light things on fire. This is a complete setup. So if you show up there, even if you think you're just waving your Trump banner and you're going to make a difference, you're not making it, not only are you not making a difference, you're setting yourself up to be captured. You're setting yourself up to be hurt. You're setting yourself up to destroy free speech for people like me and everyone else. So don't be stupid. If you are part of the QAnon movement, shake your head and say, you know what? I screwed up. We all screwed up, right? I've dated girls before. People have told me, oh man, don't date this girl. She's a problem. I said, I can handle her. You know? You date the girl does something, you're like, oh man, I should have listened. Yeah, you should have. Well, we've all been there. We should have listened. You're forgiven. But don't make the same mistake. Stop riding on the coattails of this QAnon crap. This was brought in, like we all told everyone out there, for censorship, for censorship, for censorship. And it's happening right now. They're deleting accounts on the internet. They are taking down, well, not on the internet, on social media first. That's why I'm saying to get to my website. Because if you enjoy the daily...
Y'all, I'm going to end it right there. And we're going to continue this. Another video. I know it was getting good. Okay. It was getting good. But we will continue this later. I have to go. Okay, I told y'all I was only going to be for 35 minutes because I got stuff to do. So I will see y'all later, and we will continue this. Oh, we will continue this tomorrow. We'll have this talk. Hopefully somebody who have more devices will be able to come up and play this because I'm not going to be on when I do go live. Okay? So I will see y'all later. Y'all get ready to go over to Bree because she finna address some things. And I will see y'all all over at Pettyville. Okay. I appreciate everybody coming and listening to my conspiracy live. This is the most people I have ever had in my conspiracy. No, I didn't. The other night when I was talking about conspiracy, I had over 100 and almost 200 y'all in here listening. So that's probably because it was late. Y'all just was like, fuck it. You might as well listen to this shit. But I still appreciate y'all coming and y'all listening to it and hearing it so y'all could go do y'all own independent research. I look forward to hearing if anybody else is going to talk about this. I'm pretty sure Bless going to touch on it when she go live tomorrow as well. So I would like to hear her commentary on what she thinks, and anybody else who interested in it and they want to do their commentary on it. I would like to hear everyone else's perspective, especially you, Miss T. So I ain't even got to say your name because you already know. I would like to hear your perspective too. But I will see y'all later. Okay. Hey there. All right, y'all. Bye, y'all. We going over to Pettyville now. Going over to Pettyville.